So control of pumps. So currently we are following this course outcome. So I told you we are following this reference book, and all figures are taken from this reference book. On-off flow controller. So here we are using the combination of pumps. Okay. So please note down this diagram. Okay. So this one is a on-off flow controller, but please note here actually we are trying to maintain the pressure constant due to the demand of flow is varying. Demand of flow rate is varying. So even if the demand of flow rate is varying, we have to regulate the pressure, not constant, we have to maintain the pressure within a particular range. So that is our objective. Okay. So please note this is tank. We have two tanks, two pumps. This is pump 1. Okay. So normally we are operating pump 1. We are not operating pump 2 normally. So this is pump 2. Okay. This is pump 2. So you can see that these two pumps are parallelly connected. These two pumps are parallelly connected. Okay. So now assume that the current operating point. So this one is the curve of the single pump. This one is a curve of that single pump. Is it okay? So assume that this one is the operating point. This one is the operating point. This one is the operating point. Okay. So due to some reason, so operating point, this one is operating point 1. We label it as operating point number 1, where the pressure is, say the pressure is something around 38. The pressure is 38 and the flow rate is 80. The flow rate is 80. So 38 psi and 80 GPM is the operating point, means the current operating condition of this pump, means it is pumping liquid with a flow rate of 80 GPM, where the discharge pressure is 38 psi. Now due to some reason, the flow demand is increased to 120 GPM. The flow rate demand, this is 80, that one is increased to 120 GPM. So this one is 120 GPM. Okay. So if the flow rate demand is increased to 120 GPM, the pump will follow its curve, its normal curve. It will definitely follow the normal curve. So the operating point is shifted from 1 to the new point where the flow rate is 80 GPM. So this one is a new point where the flow rate is 120 GPM, because the flow rate is increased to 120 GPM. So the pump will follow its curve from operating point 1 to operating point 2, where the flow rate is 120 GPM, and you can see that the pressure is something around 22 psi. The pressure is something around 22 psi. So you can see that the flow demand is increased. That is why the flow rate is changed from 80 to 120. But please note, the pressure demand is not changed. We need the same pressure or almost the same pressure. But here what is happening? The pressure is changed from 38 psi to 22 psi. So that one is a very large change. Okay. So the question is how to reduce this change. How to reduce this change in pressure. So if a large change in pressure is happened due to the change in flow rate demand, then the one more pump is started. Along with pump 1 is continuously operating. Along with pump 1, pump 2 is also started. So for that purpose, the flow rate of the discharge line is measured. This one is a discharge line. So that flow rate is measured, that is FSH. So the flow rate is measured. And if the flow rate is greater than or equal to 120 GPM, so you can see that one is set at 120 GPM. So if the flow rate is greater than or equal to 120 GPM, then the second pump is also started. Second pump is also started. So please note, if the flow rate is greater than 120 GPM, means greater than or equal to 120 GPM, means once the operating point is here, then the second pump is also started. So now we have already pump 1 is working. Now the second pump is also started, means now we have the two pumps. Two pumps are operating parallelly. So what is happening? If two pumps are operating parallelly, in last class I told you, assume that the capacity of these two tanks are same. So earlier this one is the flow rate given by one pump. Now the second pump will also give the same flow rate. So what will happen? The flow rate will increase. Means the pump curve is shifted to right side. If this one is a flow rate, the second pump will also give the same flow rate. So the pump curve is shifted to this side. If this one is a flow rate given by first pump, then second pump will also give this much flow rate. So if you are operating these two pumps simultaneously, the pump curve is shifted to right side. So in last class we discussed about this. So now what is happening? If you are starting the second pump also, so this one is operating point, that one is a flow demand. We are not doing anything on flow because that much flow is consumed by some another process. Okay. So if you are starting the second pump also, corresponding to this flow rate, the discharge pressure is now increased to this value, because this one is the, now we have combined curve. This one is a combined curve. So if you have the combined curve, then corresponding to 120 GPH, the pressure is now this point, not this one, because now this curve is not there. What we have this curve. If we have this curve, then corresponding to 120 GPS, the pressure is something around 40. Earlier we have 38 psi. Now you can see that the flow rate is increased to 40 psi, and that 40 psi is very close to 38 psi. So what is happening? Initially the pump is operating at operating point number 1, where the pressure is 38 psi and flow rate is 80 GPM. Due to some reason, the flow demand is changed to 120 psi. So naturally the pump will follow its curve to operating point 2, where the pressure is 22 psi. So you can see a large change in pressure. So in order to overcome that, by using the flow switch high FSH, where the set point is 120 GPM, the second pump is also started, where the second pump is working parallel to the first pump. If a pump is working parallel to the primary pump, the pump curve is shifted to right side. So the float demand is again 120 GPM. So what is happening to the pressure? As now the single curve is not existing. If you have the new curve, then the operating point is shifted to 0.3. So now this one is the operating point corresponding to 1 GPM, where 120 GPM is the required flow rate, means the flow demand. So corresponding to that flow rate, now the pressure is 40 psi, means around 38 psi. So you can see that the change in pressure is reduced by starting one more pump parallel to the primary pump. So now what is happening if the flow demand is decreased back? If the flow demand is decreased back, then definitely we have to switch off the pump. Okay, so if the flow demand is decreased to 80 GPM, then we have to switch off the pump. Okay, so this one is the operation required. But please careful, actually we are starting or stopping pump with respect to the flow demand. But we can expect some disturbance also. So for example, if the flow demand is increased to 120 GPM, I told you the operating point is shifted to 2. So by using FSH, the second pump is also started. So immediately operating point is shifted from 2 to 3. Means actually 2 is a virtual point. Actually there is no operating point 2, because it will follow this path. But if it is reaching this point, immediately second pump is also started. So suddenly the third one is shifted to this point. So this point 2 is a virtual one. Okay, now I told you if there is any disturbance due to some reason, if the flow rate is changing from changing between 120 GPM and 118 GPM, what will happen? You can see that this is FSH, where the set point is 120. If it is decreasing to 118 GPM, again it will switch off the second pump. So again it will switch back to operating point 2. Then I told you disturbance is a continuous one, noise is a continuous one. Again if it is increasing back to 100 GPM, then what will happen? Again this one will switch back to 3. So what happens to pump 2? Pump 2 is continuously starting and stopping, right? So the number of starts will increase. So in order to overcome that, you can see a neutral zone also. This pump have a neutral zone also. Neutral zone means once it started, then we can stop this pump if the flow rate is less than 120 minus that neutral zone. Okay, so it is the dead band. This one is a dead band of FSH. So once it is decreasing, once the flow rate is decreasing, immediately if the pump is not stopped, the pump is stopped if the flow rate is less than 120 minus neutral zone. So that you can see here, FSH dead band. Okay, so once the flow rate is less than this value, what is this value? This is 100 GPM. Once the flow rate is less than 100 GPM, then the second pump is stopped. Okay, so that is operating point 4 and 5. Once the flow rate is decreasing, both pumps are working, so the curve will follow this combined curve up to operating point 4. Once the flow rate is less than or equal to this flow rate, that is 100 GPM, means after this dead band, then the second pump is stopped, so the curve will shift to a single curve. This one is a single curve, and this one is a curve of pump 1. Okay, if you are switching off, if you are stopping the second pump, then the combined curve is not there. We have only the single curve. So the operating point is shifted from 4 to 5. Okay, so this one is a dead band. So please note, if you are increasing the flow rate, or if the flow rate is increasing, if the demand is increasing, it will follow 1 to 2, then from 2 to 3, like this way. And if the flow rate is, if flow demand is decreasing, it will flow this path up to 4, then from 4 to 5, then 5 to 1. So here you can see a dead band. Okay, so this one is an operation of on-off flow controller. So please note, here on-off flow control means the controller is working with respect to the flow measurement. Actually, here we are trying to maintain the pressure constant because the flow demand is continuously changing. Even if the flow demand is continuously changing, we are trying to maintain the pressure within a particular band. That is our objective. So for the purpose, the flow measurement is used. Okay. So that is very important. So please note, here we are not controlling flow rate, we are controlling pressure. We are trying to maintain the pressure by using the flow measurement. So the controller is operating with respect to the flow. That is why the name on-off flow controller. So please note, here the controller is working with respect to the flow measurement. That is why the name on-off flow controller.